Hello, my name is Craig Walsh. I'm a Relationship Manager with Immigration New Zealand. I'm currently based in Dunedin in New Zealand, and the presentation today is to talk to you about visa options to work and live in New Zealand. For those of you that aren't aware, New Zealand is a small country of approximately 4 million people based in the southwest Pacific. There are three main cities, which are Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, and the reason we're here to talk to you today is to try and encourage you to think about applying to come and live or work in New Zealand. New Zealand, despite the current global crisis, has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world, currently sitting at around about 5%. So today we want to talk to you about what some of the options are for coming to apply for a visa to work in or live in New Zealand. First of all, just a quick comment about Immigration New Zealand. We are a government agency. We're part of the Department of Labour based in New Zealand, and we process visa applications for people coming to work in New Zealand. So any application you may lodge would be dealt with by our department. One of the things we also want to stress today, and you may have heard that through other presenters, is that there are still opportunities within the ICT industry here in New Zealand. And as we said before, despite the global recession and some of the negative news, particularly in the ICT sector, there are information and jobs available to come and work in New Zealand. And some of the other booths and presenters will highlight what some of those actual positions are. So today we also want to talk about what some of the visa options are that you may wish to make use of. It's giving a brief overview of the main skill-based residence and work visa options, talking briefly about our long-term skill shortage list, giving you some idea about what plans you might want to put in place to help the visa process go smoothly, and just some resources which may assist you. We are exhibiting at the Expo today, and for those of you that haven't yet come to see us, we're at booth number 30. So some people do wonder why immigration is at an expo like this, and it's really just to promote the fact that the IT industry is still in need of skilled and experienced staff in New Zealand, because it is still a vibrant industry here, and there are some major shortages, particularly in certain sectors of the industry, and there are several thousand people needed in the industry over the next few years. Many of the employment opportunities are available to people from overseas, but one of the crucial factors is having a job offer, and that's where the Expo today will hopefully assist you. So there are different options that you can take up when applying to come to New Zealand. Most of those are requiring you to have a job offer first, and we would certainly encourage you to take advantage of the information that's available here today. But one of the main issues that you need to take account of is also factoring in the processing times for applications, and we'll touch on that later on also. The thing I would stress though is that having the job offer will be crucial to an application, and a job offer is one in which should involve at least 30 hours work per week, whether that be for a residence application, which means you can live here permanently, or alternatively if it's for a work visa application which you may lodge. One of the information tools that you may wish to take notice of is what's called our long-term skill shortage list. That is a list which lists occupations currently in demand in New Zealand, and there are several IT occupations on that list. And just briefly summarising what some of those are, there is ICT professionals, ICT project manager, organisation and methods analyst, and ICT customer support officer. There are some other occupations on the list as well, and we would encourage you to have a look at that list if you don't already have one. That can be downloaded from our website or downloaded from the information available on our booth. Many people choose to apply for a work visa first before coming to New Zealand, and in many ways that's the most practical option. And then if you choose to stay here longer term or permanently, you can apply for a residence permit once you're here. The residence work permit is based on a point system, and it's referred to as the skilled migrant category, and you need at least 100 points to be eligible to apply for an application, and with 140 points you are definitely likely to be invited to apply for residence. Again, if you have a look at some of the information we have available, we would encourage you to make use of that. There are several places that, when you are still based overseas, where you can lodge your visa application. In the United States, we have an office in Los Angeles for our Consulate General there, or alternatively, we have an embassy in Washington DC. In the UK, we have our Immigration New Zealand office at New Zealand House in the Haymarket in London. And in South Africa, we have the New Zealand High Commission based in Pretoria. For those of you, though, that may wish to come to New Zealand on a working holiday visa, which is one option that you don't actually need to have a prior job offer for, and this applies to people who are aged between 18 and 30, we allow you to apply for such an application online. So if you go to our website, which is www.immigration.govt.nz, you can have an application processed online within around about 48 hours. There are some application types where you don't need a job offer to come and work in New Zealand. One of those is the working holiday scheme, which we just talked about. But also, if you were the partner of a long-term worker, perhaps your partner or spouse has a job offer here in New Zealand and their work permit has been issued for 6 months or longer, as their partner, you're also eligible for a work permit to accompany them to New Zealand. As I mentioned, the working holiday visa is for people aged between 18 and 30, and you can stay in New Zealand for up to 12 months and work here for the whole 12 months if you wish, or you can use that time to have a look around the country while you're here. If you do find a permanent job, you can apply for residence, or you can apply for a longer term work permit based on that specific job offer if you so choose. As I mentioned, there are several options to apply under, and as I say, if you come to our booth we can explain those more, or you can actually download information from there. We have fact sheets which are available which would explain the situation further. Some application types can be quite detailed, so it's worth preparing in advance as to what information you require with an application. And if you do have a job offer with your application, you must ensure that it contains all the required information and that you submit all your paperwork with the application at the time you submit it. The reason for this is just to make it hopefully faster to process and be less delays in the processing of the application. We also have other resources available, and two of those in which can assist finding jobs are another free web-based recruitment site which is partly funded by Immigration New Zealand, and that is called www.newzealandrecruitme.co.nz. That is where you can lodge your own CV and your own information, and we also have New Zealand employers advertising on there, and you'll hopefully be put in contact with employers, or you can contact employers to make them aware of your CV and the skills that you have to offer. Another website which is a government website is New Zealand Now, and again you can get that information from our booth. But if you'd like to go to that site, that is quite a lot of information on there for you, where you can register your interest in finding out more about working and living in New Zealand. And with your details there, we will also send you free information, a quarterly email newsletter which has various stats and facts and contact details in there. And there's also the chance to be put in contact with other employers who have registered their own details on the New Zealand Now website. As I mentioned, we have fact sheets which you can take notice of and download from our site, and also via our website which has all our information on there. So our main encouragement today is to come and see us, apply for a visa should you be eligible, or you have a job offer from which you think you might be eligible. Again, our website is www.immigration.govt.nz. A copy of this presentation will also be retained on the site, so from the PowerPoint presentation that's on there, this will summarise some of the information we have just talked about. But the point I would like to leave with you is that people with ICT skills are required in New Zealand, especially those that have quite a lot of experience to go with their particular qualification. And New Zealand is actively seeking those people to come and work here. And that is why an expo like this is being put on today. And it's also why we have other companies here with us who are giving you more information about what jobs might be available and what some of the regions have to offer as well. The other thing that you may wish to remember is that there are a number of options to come and work in New Zealand, both short-term and long-term, and depending on your circumstances, you may wish to take advantage of either of those options. And the thing I would just leave with you is, as I say, come and talk to us if you want more information. Go and look at our website, have a look at the New Zealand Now website, and we are at booth 30 should you want to come and see us, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. Thanks very much, and good luck with your application.